Incredible amazement park. Oh, you don't need directions because it's everywhere. Just step outside your door and look, you're already there. A world that's filled with things that fly and spin and jump and run, all in 3D. It couldn't be more fun. Woo! Whoa, let's go to the amazement park. Incredible amazement park, where there are thrills by day and a fireworks display after dark. Incredible amazement park. Let's talk about the builder and all that he designed. From sea to mountaintop, he built it all in record time. He formed the heavens, every animal and waterfall. The great creator, come on, give it up for God, y'all! Yeah! Woo! Ride the cheetah, chase and raptor run, they're super, super fast. Hop on the crazy kangaroo, you're gonna have a blast. Be sure to see the dolphin dance and penguins on parade. Then give the Lord the glory for the wonders that He's made. Put your hands up in the air, yeah. It's time to take that ride. Put your hands up in the air, woo. And let the Lord be glorified. Put your hands up in the air, yeah. It's time to take that ride. Put your hands up in the air, woo. And let the Lord be glorified. Whoa, let's go to the amazement park. Incredible amazement park, where there are thrills by day and a fireworks display after dark. Incredible amazement park. Whoa, let's go to the amazement park. Incredible amazement park, where there are thrills by day and a fireworks display after dark. Incredible amazement park. Yeah, let's go! God created Earth in no time flat. In just 6 days, imagine that. He worked so fast, His plan was tight. Each day prepared, and it was right. Creation week is what we're talking about. Genesis 1:1 is the place, no doubt. It tells us how things came to be and how God made you and me. Our God is 24/7. Our God is 24/7. Let's take a look from the book. Let's take a look from the book.
Day one. In the beginning, God created heavens and the earth. Let there be light and darkness too. He said before day one was through.
Day two, God split the waters and put a name to heaven. Then all the sky came to be. Day two complete. Next day three.
Day three, God formed the oceans and the lands with plants and trees. The flowers bloomed through all the earth. Oh, what a sight to see.
Day four, God hung the moon and stars that twinkled in the night. Then He set the sun to shine to warm the earth and give it light.
All the creatures of the sea came on day five at God's decree. Then He waved His hand from here to there as birds and things took to the air.
Then animals came on day six that moved upon the ground. The dogs and cats and cows and sheep and dinosaurs.
And things that creep.
God knew that He was almost done, but He saved the best for last.
He created man and woman as His final task.
Day 7, God rested, made it the Sabbath day. We're called to stop and give Him thanks, to worship Him and pray.
'Cause when He spoke from where He stood, He created what no other could.
He blessed the things that He had made and saw that it was good.
Our God is 24/7.
24/7, that ain't no
Our
lie.
God is 24/7.
Remember, God filled the earth and
Our God
sky.
is 24/7.
7 days and that's all it
Our
took.
God is 24/7.
Just take one look.
Just take a look. Incredible, amazing park where there are thrills by day and the fireworks display after dark. Incredible, amazing park. Yeah, let's go!
All right. Well, as you can see, things don't go as we planned all the time. But that's okay. We're going to work this out. I don't know why my videos are doing that, but we'll make sure that you hear the videos at some point. All right? We've got some different videos we're going to show you. But I do want to remind you, and I want to thank you for being with us tonight, taking time out of your schedule to watch us. We're going to get all the technical difficulties worked out. This is the first night. We've never done anything like this, but it's going to be okay. I want to remind you about the points, though. If you're watching tonight, you get an automatic 100 points. Give yourself a hand. All right. If you share this video, so if you take it right now and you hit the share button and you're tagged in it, make sure we know who your name is when you share it. You get 200 points. If you say your memory verse tonight to your guardians, your parents, whatever, there you get another 200 points. If you do your craft tonight and you take a picture of it, post it in this video, okay? Make sure that you post it in the comment section of this video, a picture of your craft, and you'll get another 200 points. If someone registers because you shared it, when they fill out the Vacation Bible School registration, and they say, I am coming to this Vacation Bible School because so-and-so invited me, then you get another 500 points. The person at the end of this week that gets the most points will get our grand prize, and that is we'll send your family to the Ark Encounter. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult to do. That's why it's important to share, to do everything you can on that point thing, okay? We will be taking up an offering every day. Every day we're going to have that offering. Every day we're going to be out there. So when you get your packet delivered to you or you come and pick it up, then you know, put your offering in there. You can put coins in there. You can put dollar bills, and we can switch out the dollar bills. Right now, we're going to do a weigh-in, though. Before we do that weigh-in, I know y'all can't see me, but just bear with me here. We're going to hopefully show you a video of Camp Rhino, and then we're going to come back here and do this. Camp Rhino is a camp in South Africa, and Project South Africa is what we're taking our money up for. And you can kind of see in here. I don't know if you can see there. There's stuff in there already. People have already given their offerings, so we'll come back and see who is winning so far tonight. Let's try that video. So I got Cody here. He's going to be helping us. He's part of the Extreme team here. You'll meet them a little bit later. Him and Gabe. Actually, let's switch here. This is going to be the girls, as you can see, girls, and then this is boys. All right. So we're going to weigh this tonight to see who has won tonight. Okay. So I'm going to put mine on here. All right, girls. All the way at the end. Just even it up there. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. The boys are winning. Hey, but that's okay. We've got the whole week to go ahead. So make sure tomorrow when you get your packet, make sure that you got the offering in there. Make sure that you are good to go on that. And we're going to go ahead and go to another video. I believe you're going to see Dr. Mister, and he's got a science video that he's going to do with you. It's about 9 minutes long, and the theme of his science video is, just like air, God is there. I hope you enjoy this science video, and now get your science stuff out and get ready to go with that science video.
Hello! It is I, Dr. Mister, and welcome to my incredible lab here at Incrediworld. And today we have an amazing scientific experiment called Just Like Air, God is There. And so for this experiment, the supplies you are going to need is 3 balloons that are the same size, 3 rubber bands, and 1 ruler. Okay, so if you do not have these supplies, don't worry about it. You can just watch the experiment, and maybe when you have the supplies, you can try it for yourself. But if you have these supplies at home, gather them so that we can begin. Now, let's look around, and you see all the incredible stuff that God has created. Maybe you go look at the window and you see what is there, because if you do, you can see many incredible things that God has made, like grass and flowers and birds, even the sun. Isn't it amazing? But did you know that there are some things that God has created that we cannot see? For instance, air. Let's take in a big breath. You see, you cannot see air, can you? But do you believe it exists? I hope so. Even though we cannot see it, we can know air is there. How? Because air has properties that we can measure. We can use an experiment to measure these things with. For example, air takes up space, and air has mass, which means you can weigh it. So let's do this experiment together to measure these properties of air. Step number 1. Take one of your balloons and blow it up. If you cannot blow up your own balloon, maybe you can ask somebody to help you. Okay, here we go. Very good. Now, once your balloon is blown up, you need to tie it. And again, have someone help you if you cannot do this yourself. See, I have a balloon. Isn't that fun? Okay. Now that we have air in the balloon, we can see that air takes up space. Yes, that is what is inside the balloon. It's taking up space. Oh, very good. Now, do this. Hold out your hands with your palms up. Can you feel the weight of the air on your hands? I do not think so. But did you know that we can measure that air has weight? And we are going to do that right now. So what you need to do is actually have a second balloon blown up. You can blow up your second balloon. I already have one ready here, and they are blown up to the same size. Now, once you have your 2 balloons, you need 2 rubber bands. And I'm going to put the rubber band around the bottom of the balloon. You know the part that gets all wet when you blow it up? Yes, that's the part we're going to wrap and wrap and wrap with the rubber band. And once we have it wrapped and wrapped and wrapped, I'm going to put it on one side of the ruler, wrapping the rubber band around the ruler, just like that. And we will repeat the same process with the other balloon. Get the slobbery part and wrap and wrap and wrap. Okay, this is very fun, isn't it? Yes, I believe so. Okay, so we wrap that around there, and now we will attach it to the other side of the ruler. What we have created here is a balance scale. We will see which balloon weighs the most. If the yellow balloon weighs the most, it will go like this. If the orange balloon weighs the most, it will go like this. If they weigh the same, it will stay in the middle. So I'm going to put my finger under the middle of the balloon, and you see that it balances, which means these 2 balloons weigh the same amount. Very cool. Now, let's try another part to this experiment. I am going to take off 1 balloon, and I have another balloon here which is the same size balloon. However, I am not going to put any air in this balloon. But I'm going to take my rubber band and wrap it, just like we did before. And I'm going to attach it to our ruler, just like we did the balloon that had air in it. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I have two balloons still that are really the same size balloon. However, this one has air, this one does not have air. Now we will do our balance test again. If the yellow balloon weighs more, it will go like this. If the blue balloon weighs more, it will go like this. If they weigh the same, it will stay in the middle. Let's see what happens this time. Oh, can you see that? Yes, it's sliding off my finger. You know why? Because the yellow balloon weighs more than the blue balloon, because there is air inside there. So we know that air has mass, and we can actually weigh it. Now, these experiments help us to know that air exists, even though we cannot see it, and even though we cannot feel it. But we know that air exists. Did you know that when we breathe in, we can also see that air exists? Do this. Breathe in. Did you know that when you breathe in, your lungs expand just like a balloon expands? So when you breathe in, you can see air expanding your lungs. Did you also know that the fact that I can talk and I can sing also shows that air exists? Would you like to sing with me? Let us sing together. Here we go. La 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 la, la 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 la. You see, because I am singing, air is transmitting sound to your ears. Yes, and also air passes over our vocal cords, and that allows us to make the sounds that we make when we talk and when we sing. So talking and hearing allows us to know that air exists. Now, think about this. Just like we cannot see air, we cannot see God. But just because we cannot see God doesn't mean he doesn't exist. Some people believe that because they cannot see God, that he is not the one who created the universe. They would rather believe that we have evolved from a big pile of chemicals over millions of years. Of course, no people were around back then before time began. So how do evolutionists know that everything just exploded into a big bang and all this beautiful, orderly world eventually came to be? The answer is, they don't know. They are guessing. They are putting their trust in a tiny little speck that caused a big bang. But they do not know where that speck came from. They do not know where that speck is made of. But they put their trust in a speck. Those of us who believe the Bible, however, we trust God, an incredible creator God who was there when the world began, when the universe began. And he knows exactly what happened. And he told us about it in the book of Genesis. So remember, just because we cannot see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just like air, God is there. And God is an incredible creator of the universe.
All right. Hey, guys, this is a time we come every day, and we have our little staff devotions, and yes, you can shine a light on me, too. Hey, today, did y'all know that there was a time where there was no time? Can y'all think about that? Isn't that pretty cool? That there was a time when there wasn't no time. I know, it makes no sense, right? Well, before the beginning of the world, before the earth was here, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit were all here. And there was no time. Can y'all imagine that? And then, in the Bible, Genesis 1 tells us this. Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, y'all know the verse? In the beginning, what? Yes, God created. You know, that's interesting because it says, who created the world? Now, it's interesting that it's the first thing that we read about because God created the world. I'm going to read Genesis 1:1 because I want you to hear it, you know, and we'll have different devotions every day, but this one is super important because it tells us about the beginning of time, when time started. In the beginning, God created. What does the beginning mean? Can y'all tell me what the beginning means? Oh, yes, very good. It's the start of something. So, the start of something. Here we go. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. You know what the word without means? It means, or without form. What does it mean to be without form? Not like Miller. Miller doesn't have form. Anybody ever seen water? Anybody ever seen water? Does water have a specific shape? A specific form? Yeah, so it's just kind of there, right? It's just space. So imagine the earth before everything. It was just kind of just emptiness. So it says it was without form and it was void. So there was nothing there. It was empty. And then, here's what God did. Yes? Your stomach is void. We're not talking about your stomach right now. We're talking about how the earth was void before God created. So, God created all. How many days did it take God to create the earth? No, it took 6. He rested on the 7th day. But you were close there. You know, there is a belief out there, guys, and this is why Incredible World is so important, so we can have and tell the truth. But there's people out there that teach that the world is billions and millions of years old, and they think that it just happened by a big bang in the sky, and now we're here out of some ooze that was on the earth and things like that. So it's crazy. But today we're going to learn about God and how He created the earth. So day number 1. Here's what God created. Day number 1, it says, and God said, let there be light. All right? Y'all know what light is, right? Miller, you just had a light, didn't you? Yes, that's a light. Now, the opposite of light is what? Darkness. So there was darkness upon the earth. That's what our Bible says. It says there was darkness. So God created the light. Now, this light is not the sun, and it wasn't the moon. It was some kind of light. You say, well, what kind of light was it? I ain't got a clue. It was a light. So God said, let there be light. So what did God create on the very first day? Let there be? Yes. Give you 10 points. Yes. He said, let there be light. Now, day 2 is interesting as well. And it says in verse 4, let's see what God said. And God saw that it was good, and God divided the light from darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now the sun hasn't been created yet, but there was a light and there was darkness. In verse number 6, it says, God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. So imagine waters in the sky and waters below. Everybody, can you picture that? And God put a sky right in the middle of it. Isn't that pretty cool? That God put a heaven or a sky right in the middle of it to divide the waters. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So what did God create on the second day? He created the what? The firmament, or the sky, or the heaven, right? He called it the heaven. And so, day number 1, God created what? He said, let there be? Yes. Day number 2, He created the firmament. Firmament, yes. You're close there, Millard. In verse number 9, it tells us what day 3 is. God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together under one place. So now all the waters are going to go like, whoop. Can y'all do that with me? Whoop. There you go. That's what it's going to be. So all the waters just kind of came together in one place. So God gathered all the water up, and then the dry land appeared. All right? Can y'all imagine this? All this is happening, and God's doing it. The water comes together. Do it with me. There you go. Comes together, and dry land comes up. It's pretty neat that God did that. And so dry land, does anybody got a clue what he called dry land? Starts with an E. Yes, give you 10 points, Cody. Good job. So he called the dry land earth. Does anybody know what he called the waters that he gathered together?
Old man Kelsey's ocean.
Close. I mean, the oceans is good, but can we think of a different word for oceans? It starts with an S and ends with an S. Yes, seas. Okay, old man Kelsey sees. Well, we're just going to say seas, okay? So he created the seas. He created dry land. And then he said, in verse 11, don't miss this, guys. He said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit yielding fruit after his kind. And that's very important, after his kind. All right, so if you plant an apple tree, what kind of tree, or an apple seed, what kind of tree are you going to get? No. Minus 10 for you. Apples, plus 10 for you. Yes. So if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. Now, if you plant an orange seed, what are you going to get? Cody, come on. Your shirt there is orange. Yes, you're going to get an orange tree. So God said, I'm going to put fruit. So in this day, he created the sun. He created the dry land. He created the fruit. He created the seas. And he said, all these things are going to be after their kind. So what day are we on? We're on day 3. So God created light. Then God created the firmament, or sky. Then God created the earth, the seas, and all the green things on the earth. Okay? Now, let's go to day 4. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven. Oh, we've already talked about the firmament, haven't we? Let there be lights in the where? So that's just another name for the what? The sky. So God said, let's just put lights in the sky. Anybody ever gone out and looked at the moon? Yes, 10 points. I'll give you 10 points. Anybody ever look at the moon and the stars? Well, God put them there. Here's what people that believe in evolution believe. This is why our park is so important. People that believe in evolution think that the sun and moon were there first, and everything just happened from the sun and moon, and that's not the case. God said that he created light, which was not the sun, it was light. Then he created sky. Then he created the seas and the earth. And then in day 4, he filled the sky up. He filled it up with the sun, the moon, and stars. And you can go read through here. And it says that the sun is to rule the day and the moon is to rule the night, because they call the lesser light the moon. So day 4 was what? Sun, moon, stars. 10 points, yes. All right, here we go. Day number 1 was the what? Let there be light. Oh, Millard, good job. 10 points for you. Day number 2. Yes. Day number 3. Nope. Yeah, oranges, I guess we could do. Fruit, dry land, seas. Day number 4, he filled the sky with what? Light, or sun, moon, and stars. Day number 5, he creates the animals. All right? And then he tells us that we are to have dominion over the animals. You know what that means? That the dog doesn't pull us around, right? That we are the master of the dog, right? So God is pretty amazing in all the things that he does. Now, he created all these animals. He created all these things. And I want to tell you about a really cool animal. Anybody ever heard of a bottlenose dolphin? Have you ever heard of a dolphin? Nobody's heard of a dolphin. Okay, there was a TV show, Flipper. Y'all see, yeah, Flipper. But think about this. Yeah, well, he was a orca whale. But here's what it says about the bottlenose dolphin here. Listen to this. Do you know what they have inside of them that keeps them warm? It's called blubber. All right, I know we got a lot of. It keeps him warm in the water, but then God made his skin so smooth so he can just glide through the water. But the cool thing about a dolphin is this. He has a thing called echolocation. Anybody know what echolocation is?
Sonar.
Okay, close, yes. 20 points. So how does a sonar work? So it is said and I've never been down there with a dolphin, but it said that a dolphin can click 1,000 clicks in 1 second. And they out there. I mean, that's fast. And so what they're doing is they're sending out things, and they're waiting for it to bounce back. And if it's food, then they go and eat it. It's pretty cool how God. Think about the woodpecker. So that's the sea. God put an animal in the sea. Think about the woodpecker. What does the woodpecker do? All right, he pecks wood, right? Yes. Do you know that God designed it to where he would have feathers go over his nose so the sawdust wouldn't get in his nostrils and make him sneeze and all that? He does have a hard kick. Give man 10 points again. He's got a cushion in his brain, so if you and I were to go hit a tree like this, we would hurt ourselves. But God created the woodpecker in such a way to where it doesn't get sawdust. You ever had sawdust in your nose? It makes you sneeze. It irritates your eyes. It's not fun. Well, the woodpecker doesn't have to worry about that. Isn't that cool how God created all those things? So the fifth day, God created animals in the sea and the sky. All right? Animals in the sea and the sky. What about the animals on the ground? Not yet. Give you 10 points there. All right, so on day 6, God created all the animals on the ground, and he told Adam he could name them all. So Adam looked at that dog, and he said, that's a dog right there, and he named it a dog. He could have named it Spot, I don't know, but he looked at the whatever on the ground, and he said, that's whatever I want it to be. Wouldn't it be cool to name an animal? Like, I'm going to name all the animals. Well, that's what God did. So God allowed him to have dominion over all the animals. And what else did God create on the 6th day that's so important that kind of is about me and you? He created us on the 6th day. Not necessarily us, but who did he create? One man, huh? He created man and woman, Adam and Eve, on the 6th day. And on the 7th day, God did what? He did nothing. So, what we can learn from this Bible lesson and this devotion today is this. God is very structured in what he does. All right? So God allowed it. He gave us a plan for how many days in a week? 7. So he gave you 10 points. He gave us organized structure. He said 7 days. Now, that just didn't happen. If the world just came from nothing, do you think there would be so much structure and organization inside the world? Do you think? I don't think so. So it would be chaos. And so, all right, so if you're going to make a cake, can you just make a cake from nothing? You can't. You even know that one, don't you, Millard? I know this is your first day. What do you need to make a cake?
My wife says you need 15 pounds of flour.
That's a lot of flour to make one cake. That's a lot of cake. But if you don't have flour, you don't have a cake. So you can't make a cake from nothing. Well, you know God made the world out of absolutely nothing. So that's why our part is so important. Now, here's our memory verse, guys. Exodus 20:11. All right. It says, for in 6 days, how many days? 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. All right. Can y'all say this with me? Exodus 20:11. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. All right? So your job today is to memorize this verse. All right? Kiddos, your job today is to memorize this verse. Say it to your mom and dad, your grandma, grandpa, your guardian, whatever. All right, guys, that ends our devotion for today. Remember, we have this daily. All right? Don't be late tomorrow, Millard. We have this daily, so you need to be here, okay? All right? All right, guys, y'all can head back to your stations. And let's work hard. Let's have a busy day, and let's tell somebody about Jesus in our park. Okay, go ahead. Disperse.
Welcome to Craft Time, everybody. Today we're making a wonder wheel. Looks something like this when it's finished. I'll tell you about how to do it in just a minute, but first, let's talk a little bit about this. Now, if you've never thought about it, when God made the days of creation in 6 days, it kind of lines up pretty cool because day 1 sort of lines up with day 4, okay? So on day 1, God made what? Light and dark, right? And on day 4, he filled it up. He put in the sun and the moon and the stars. Isn't that cool? And then on day 2, he made the sky, the sea. And what did he make on day 5? He filled it up with the birds and the fish and all that. And on day 3, what did he make? The plants and the land and all that. And on day 6, he filled it up with man and all the land animals. So it's kind of fun and makes it easy for you to remember what he made on which day if you think day 1 and 4, 2 and 5, 3 and 6. All right, so that's that. Now, let's go ahead and get the materials. If you do not have exactly what I'm suggesting, that's okay. You can kind of just make up your own a little bit with what you have around the house. All right, so you need some paper to be able to run off the patterns, okay? And they can be in color or they can be in black and white. And you can color this if you just need to do it on white, or you can run it off on color and you don't have to color it. All right, you'll need some kind of a popsicle stick, or you could use a ruler or some other little stiff something or other, okay? You need something like a paper fastener, just one, and you need a pair of scissors. If you're kids, you need kids' scissors, okay? And you need a little piece of tape. It can be masking tape, it can be any kind of tape, and you need something to color with. Now, I am a marker kind of a person, so I like the juicy, fun, bright colors of markers, but you can use crayons, colored pencils, whatever you want. All right, all you have to do is run off those patterns, and then once you do, you cut them out. So you're gonna have one that's gonna look like this, and you're gonna cut out this notch. You're gonna have one that's like this, it's this circle, okay? And all you do is stick them together. This is really very simple, okay? And you're going to poke a hole right where that dot is, and that's where you're gonna put your paper fastener, okay? Once you do that, on the back, you just open it up, okay? You may or may not need a little piece of tape to, probably will, but something to keep this on. You can either glue it on or you can tape it on your little stick. All right, so once you do that, you are done. And by the way, download links to all the patterns are in the description below.
All right. Well, that was a fun, interesting thing here. Oh, hi. Hi, Mr. Ryan.
Hey!
How are you doing there?
I'm doing pretty
I
good.
see you still have your suspenders there. That's pretty cool. Hey, Mr. Ryan, I know you're my assistant. You take care of a lot of stuff for me. Something's blowing my mind here. Do you know Millard Grover? I mean, he was in our staff devotion. Do you know him?
I haven't seen him, but I think I might know him if I saw him.
Well, he was in our staff devotion, but do you know much about him? I mean, because like I got here this morning, and he's walking around, he's sweating like crazy. He's just crazy, so I just assumed he was a staff member, so I told him to go and get ready and everything like that, but you don't, would you just check your records for me? But I know you didn't come here to talk about Millard. Did you have something on your mind you want to talk to me about?
I actually had to give you a note.
Oh, what is this? Well, I got to call this person back?
Yeah, the TV station wanted to talk to you, and they wanted to come by.
What TV station? Adventure TV?
Yes.
They wanted to come by and see me? Oh, that's pretty big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Well, I guess I need to call them back, but okay, good. But I came here to talk to Gabe and Cody, and I'm not seeing Gabe and Cody here in a minute. What are you nervous about them?
Yeah, they're always putting tricks up their sleeves. And,
They're doing stuff to you? Not Gabe and Cody.
I mean, you just wait. You just wait.
Well, we'll have to see about that. I don't believe it, but we'll have to see about that. We'll have to see what they do. I think you're kind of nervous for nothing. You don't, there's nothing to be nervous about. There's nothing to be nervous about. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, guys. Hey, how y'all doing?
You got a little shadow behind you.
What? Y'all know. Listen,
What you got
he
your own
says y'all are up to something. Y'all are never up to anything, right? No, y'all are nothing.
Well, that elephant there, that was a pretty cool elephant, but mealworms, baby.
Mealworm.
Mealworms, yeah.
Whoa, that's...
Mealworms are awesome, buddy.
It almost looks like,
That's this...
you know that dung beetle we see?
What is that? What?
Like that.
There's a mealworm. You want
No, no. I think I'll just take. I think I'll just take a vitamin there, guys. I don't need all that stuff. Hey, no. I've been trying to find you guys because I wanted to make sure that y'all are still good for tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
One of you are supposed to be doing our staff devotions tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing?
We're ready.
Well, so here's what I thought. I thought y'all can do that later, but here's what I thought. You know, since most of the staff doesn't get to see y'all show every day, I thought it'd be cool if y'all could implement an animal of some sort. Do you got an animal that maybe you could think of that you really demonstrate for tomorrow?
The dung beetle?
A what?
Dung beetle?
Dung beetle. Yep, that's what's on the cue.
Oh,
Dung beetle.
a dung beetle.
Dung beetle.
Not a dumb beetle, but a dung beetle. Just right now, just
Poo-poo beetle.
okay, well, that was a little bit too much graphic there, but okay. So what will that have to do with anything about devotions? That makes no sense to me. But hey, we'll figure that out tomorrow. Whatever, it's the dung beetle. It's the dung beetle. Hey, I'm looking forward to your guys' show. You know, y'all are crazy always. Why are you so nervous? What have y'all done to Mr. Ryan here? Y'all
He's just not as extreme as us.
do y'all know?
Kind of looks extreme.
Have y'all met the new employee guys? The new guy?
Oh, dude, he's like.
I don't know what he's up to. Oh, just got this, guys. We got to be on our best behavior. I'm going to go and make a phone call here shortly. Guess who called? Guess who called? You'll never guess in a million years.
Miller.
No, not Miller. No. Adventure TV.
Adventure TV?
TV! Dude!
Yes.
I've been trying to get on there.
Whoa. I don't know. I don't.
Be happy.
Extreme team, baby.
Listen, I don't know
We
what.
can make a debut. Oh, well.
I don't know what they're going to do. Yes, we are incredible world. But listen, do you know Adventure TV? They give that award away every year.
And since we know animals.
Yeah.
We
And we are very likable.
well, and we're the best park 3 years running. So we need to get that prize again.
What you think? Good prize, huh?
We need to get that prize again.
Yeah, man, good prize. Come on, I like your hat.
It's okay, Mr. Ryan. Just stay behind me. Anyway, I think it'd be cool if y'all could really show Adventure TV a good time, all right? I don't know if they're going to film one of your shows or not, but I'm going to go and talk about it. So why don't y'all just sit here? Y'all can talk about what you're going to do in Adventure TV, discuss the dung beetle. Mr. Ryan, maybe you should get back to your office there. Yes. No, he needs to go get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He needs to go.
Dude, this is going to be so awesome.
I think so. I think we made this part, man.
We got it.
Got it.
This is us.
That's it.
I mean, we can go into the dung beetle that we were talking about. I mean, this.
Dung beetle.
Yeah.
He didn't like when I tried to say poo beetle.
No, I think he kind of. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you know the dung beetle.
well,
Dung beetles aren't dumb.
no.
They do eat poo,
But
but
that,
they ain't dumb.
but that new guy, Miller.
What about?
I mean, close to him.
Yeah, he's not, you know, not all upstairs. He's all right here, though.
All right, guys, I'm getting ready for this Adventure TV here. I'm getting on the phone with them right now, so that's going to be exciting right there.